Hi again. Now we're going to paint our map. And this is the picture we chose to go by for colors. It's a map on my son's wall. We're going to start off with our blue ocean, and you're going to take the foam roller, and you're going to cover as much as you can. Do a pretty good section at a time on different parts you're painting. That way your paint is still wet to use for blending. I take a paintbrush to do my little coastal white areas. It's easier to get that in there than the foam roller. And then I will grab my foam roller again and use a darker blue, and that helps make the ocean look, give the depth to it. So you're going to take that and just fill in the center area, and then you can use the foam roller after the paint's it's more dry and blend it in with that. Just keep rolling over it again and again. And you can also use a paintbrush for that effect. And that's a picture of pretty much I'm almost done with it, and it's starting to look like a map. Now we're going to do our inland, the continents, and I'm going to do a green on all of them for a base coat to blend with. And the same thing, take sections of this. So your paint will be wet when you're going to add things like this, the dark green, that's going to be part of our mountains and trees. And you just keep rolling and rolling as it blends. As the paint gets off it and it's drier, it blends in better. Now here's a close-up on doing more trees and mountains. As you can see, I just use a fast motion on my brush. I use different brushes through this whole video. You kind of find out which ones you like the best and work with them. As you go, you'll learn all this. Everybody has their own preference, so to tell you a certain kind of brush to use, I just say get a bunch of them and try them all, see what you like. Now I'm using a tan colored paint for deserts and the coast. And you can see I changed my brush again. It's a smaller little brush. The nice thing is because the paint is still wet, as I keep painting over the same thing, it blends in with that other color. So if you're wanting something really bright, then just wait for the paint to dry first, and then you'll get a really good color on top of it. But if it's wet, it will blend in. The more you paint over it, it'll get that color mixed in with it. Okay, now we're going to add our dark brown, and that's going to be the real big mountains. And I have a different brush. I find that the bristles, the brushes with a lot of the funny bristles on them, are really great to use for trees and mountains. And at different times, stop for a minute and then just step back a little ways. You get a whole different perspective on what you're doing. It's kind of hard to see when you're right in it and you're right up close. So just take a little break. Stand back and you'll be amazed of how it's starting to all fall together with these colors. And you can also see where you need to add more things. Look at your map or go out of the room, take a coffee break or something, and come back in and look at it to get a new fresh perspective on how it looks. Don't just keep going at the whole thing. I'm going to be painting some more large mountains on this end, and so I'm going by that picture I showed you at the beginning. I'm looking at that to see where to place them. And you're not going to be perfect. If you get them in the basic vicinity of where those big things are, the mountains and big lakes and stuff, those need to be pretty right on, but as far as your little rivers and ponds and stuff, just get them in the right, kind of in the right area, it all comes together really nice. If you find that your paint is too wet and you're just blending too much, just wait for a little while, let it dry. This is a shot of the snow that I put on top. You just do the same technique using white paint, but like I just said, when you're doing the snow, let everything dry pretty good, and then you'll get the real, clean white on there. Okay, now we're using our permanent markers, the blue one, and you're going to draw out your rivers. And you can pick whatever rivers you want. You don't have to do every single river on a world map that you have. And as far as the little lakes, I use a small little brush and the same blue that I used in the oceans. And then when you're done with doing your lakes and everything, just look over your oceans and the inlands, the bays, the little outlets, and you can touch up on everything. And this is what it looked like at the end. And we're going to be painting an arch scene over this. That's why there's white on each side of the top. But you can just complete your map, bring it all the way out to your sheet if all you want to do is a map. In part 3, our next video, we're going to show you how to finish this one.